Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these beaded eagles. And this one is a 4th of July themed one that I made. I was hoping to post this on 4th of July, but I didn't have enough time. So today we're just going to be making a regular eagle just like this. So let's get started. What you will need for the body. You will need 124 brown beads. I'm using these dark brown ones for the body and the wings. And then you will need 18 white beads for the head and the tail. You will need 9 orangish yellow beads for the beak. And you will need 2 black beads for the eyes. For wire, for the body, you will need 24 inches of wire. That would also be 61 centimeters. I'm using this black copper wire that I got at a local bead store, but you can buy very good wire on firemountaingems.com. I use, as I said, black copper wire. There's also other colors you can buy. It's the brand Pear Wire. This is a different brand just because I got it somewhere else, but Pear Wire on firemountaingems.com is very good. You will also need, these are for the wings. You'll need 2 12-inch or 31 centimeter pieces of wire. And last but not least, you will need 2 8-inch pieces of wire. These are for the legs and to attach the wings onto the body. You also need scissors to cut your wire, a ruler to measure your wire, and something to hold your beads in, so bead containers. Alright, let's get started. So you will start out with your 24-inch or 61 centimeter piece of wire and fold it in half. I already have mine folded in half, but you're going to meet the 2 ends and then just strip it back like that until you find the middle and kind of make a crease, not too sharp though, because you don't want your wire to break. You're going to start off by making the tail with 1 white bead on your wire and bring that all the way down. This is very, very similar to the swan video I posted last month. And now you're going to take one of your wires and loop it around and stick it through your bead like that. And make sure your bead is in the center and pull tight. And before you pull all the way, you're going to hold onto your bead and strip your wires back. And if they're even or about even like mine are, then you can go ahead and pull tight all the way, because you know your bead is in the center. Now you're going to take 2 white beads, put it on your wire, and do the same thing, bring them down. And now you're going to take the wire that does not have beads on it, your empty wire, and loop it around and through your 2 beads that you just put on. Here, I'm going to move these out of the way. There, and pull it tight like that. And now you're going to take 3 white beads. We're just basically forming a little triangle here. Put them on your wire. 1, 2, 3. Bring them down. Take your empty wire, loop it around, and put it through those beads. And pull tight. And now we're going to start building up the back. As you can see, the tail on mine, I forgot to do it white, but we're going to start by doing the row just above my nail, and it just starts to arch up for the arch of the back. So we're going to put 5 beads on our wire this time. So actually, we're going to switch to our brown beads. So take your brown beads, and we're going to put 5 of them on our wire. And dropped one already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring them down, and you're going to do the same process. Bring it around and through your beads. Just like that. And we're going to just pull on this side, and we're going to pull, and we're going to kind of arch them as we go. Kind of just arch them over those 3 beads, the 3 white beads. So it starts to go up and form the back of your eagle. Now we're going to put 7 beads on our wire, and we're going to arch them the same way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There we go. Bring them down. Take your opposite wire that does not have any beads on it and loop it through your beads. Loop it through. Actually, we're just going to loop it through about half of them. So I'm just going to loop it through 4. And we're going to pull it tight. Like that. Form that arch. And now what we're going to do is, just for this one, if you did that, we're going to do the same technique and loop our wire around, or make sure it's tight first. Yep. Loop our wire around, and in this little gap here made by these 2 rows, like that, and pull it tight through. And this way, our wire, our rows of beads do not separate. Just like that. Have it nestle in between the 2 beads right there. Just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but yeah, just enough where the rows hold together. Now we're going to take the wire and loop it back around and string it through those beads that we have not strung our wire through yet. Just like that. Should come out the other side. Pull tight. And there you go. Pull tight. And if it gets flattened, you can just push it up a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to do a row of 8, and we're actually going to do 2 of these rows. So put 8 beads on your wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, bringing those down. Now we're going to take our empty wire, loop it around, and stick it through those beads. And we're actually only going to pull our wire through 4 of the beads, half of them. These we're going to go back 1. Okay, so fold these up. Bring the wire around, and I'll zoom in through that little gap right there. So here's my wire. I'm going to bring it through this gap. Right there. And pull tight. And you should nestle it in between those beads like that. There we go, just like that. And now we're going to loop our wire back in the row and string it through the remaining beads that we have not strung it through yet. You might have to wiggle yours around a little bit like I have to do. There we go, but eventually it'll come out. And pull it tight like that. You might need to reshape it a little bit, but there we go. Now we're going to do another row of 8. So 8 beads on your wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one more, 8. Now bring this down and do the same process. It's the exact same that we did for the last one. So string your wire through half of those beads, so 4 of the 8 beads. Bring it out. It should look like this. Like this. Bend it up like this. Bring the wire through that gap, back and through that gap, and pull tight. Nestle your wire in between 2 beads. And now put it back through. There you go. I had to flatten mine like a lot, so just unflatten it like that. Use your finger as a thing to bend it around. Now pull tight. Now we're going to do a row of 8. Again, another row of 8. So 8 beads on your wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. Do the exact same process. String your wire through 4 of those beads. There you go. So half of the beads. And pull it tight. Put it up to the rest of it. Loop it around. Stick it through a gap previously made by the other 2 rows of beads. And pull tight. Put your wire back through and string it through the remainder of the beads. There we go. Now we're going to do a row of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring them down, and we're just going to string our wire through half of them. So it'll be 3 beads. String wire through 3 of them. And pull it tight. Still arch them a little bit and do the same process. Like that. And then put it back through. There we go. Now we're going to do a row of 4, and we're almost done with the body, and we're going to move our way onto the head. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring it down, loop our wire, string our wire through 2 of those beads. Pull it tight. And this is the last time we're going to do this loopy thingy. So bring it around, loop it through, pull tight. And put our wire back through those 2. There we go. Now we're going to do another row of 4 beads, but this time we're just going to do it regularly and not do the loopy thing. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring it down. Get our wire with no beads on it, loop it around, and stick it through all of those beads. And pull it tight. And we're gonna kind of nestle it, just like put it back like that. And this is the start of the neck. Now we're gonna take 4 of our white beads. 4 of our white beads, put it on the wire. 1, oops, 2, 3, and 4. Bring those down, and we're going to nestle it just like that. It's going to make a tiny little zigzag, and then put our wire through and pull tight like that. Now we're going to take 3 white beads. So 1, 2, and 3. Bring it down. Take your wire that does not have any beads on it. Loop it around and through those beads. Pull tight and nestle it right there. Now we're going to take 2 beads, put them on our wire. 2 white beads, put them on our wire. 1 and 2. Bring it down and do the same process. Pull tight. And we're going to take 2 more white beads, put them on our wire. We're so close to being done with the body. 2 more white beads on our wire. Through, string them through, and nestle them in. So it should look like this now. Now we're going to add the row with the eyes. So take one of your 2 black beads, put it on your wire, take your last white bead, put it on your wire, and take 1 more of your black beads and put it on your wire. Bring them down and just do the process like any normal beading row or row of beads. And there we go. Should look like this. And now we need to do the beak. So grab your orange beads, or just yellow beads, that is. Now we're going to take 2 of them, put them on our wire. Bring it around, pull tight. Now we're going to take 1 more, put it on our wire, bring it around, string the wire through and pull tight. And that's it. And then we're done with the head of, or the body and head of our eagle. Now we're going to secure this. So now we're going to take 1 wire, loop it around and through that bead. Take this wire, loop it around through that bead. Like that. And now we're going to take both wires and twist them together. Like that. And, oops, sorry, the camera was blurry. Now you can just fold that little sharp pointy bit down so no one gets hurt. And there you have your body of your eagle. And now let's move on to the feet. So keep your body by you. And we're going to take one of our 8-inch or 21 centimeter pieces of wire. Let's see, this one's an 8-inch, I think. Yep. And now we're going to look at the back of our eagle. And we're going to count 3 rows up from this brown bit. So 1, 2, 3. This row, we're going to focus on that row. And we're going to take a bead roughly in the middle. I'm going to choose this one right here and string our wire through it. And it's kind of hard because you have to get it out the other way without putting it through all the other beads. But just you can kind of try and pop it out if needed. There we go. Just wiggle it out and grab that wire. The beads are kind of dark, so it's hard to see. Anyways, so now meet your 2 ends once it's strung through, and then just get it in the middle here. And now what we're going to do is the legs don't go from the back. They are right here. So we're going to just string this wire down through the eagle's body so it's facing downward. And you might need to reform your eagle a little bit, but that's okay. Here we go. All right. There you go. And now you have 2 wires coming out from the bottom of the eagle. And now we're going to do the legs. So now we're going to take 4 brown beads on one of these wires. One of the sides of one wire, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring this down, and now we're going to take 3 of our orange beads. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to kind of separate our orange beads from our brown beads. This is a lot like how you do the foot of a lizard, a beaded lizard, or beaded gecko or something. And we're going to skip past the orange beads and string our wire through all 4 of the brown beads. And then just go ahead and stick your wire up through the opposite side. And as you can see, when we pull tight, the beads form a little foot, or a talon, I guess, in an eagle's context. But now you might need to kind of mess with them a little bit in order to get it perfect, but it's okay. There we go, just like that. Now pull tight. Now we're going to do the same with this other wire. All right, so 4 beads on your wire. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring those down. Now get the last 3 of your orange beads. 1, 2, and 3. Bring them down. Separate them a little bit from your brown beads and loop your wire around and stick it through all of your brown beads and out the other side. Like that, you can see. Pull this and pull tight. That foot definitely pulled tight a lot easier than the other one. Now we're going to take the wires and just twist them together. Like that. And snip it snip off the extra. And there you have your little eagle's talons. Doo-doo. Now we're going to work on the wings. So take one of your 10-inch or 31-centimeter pieces of wire, and we're going to fold it in half. Oops. Just like that. Now we're going to take 4 beads, and these wings are the exact same as for this one. So take 4 beads and put them on your wire. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now those are gonna go down. Now we're gonna hold them in place with our fingers and take one side and loop it around and through the 4 beads. Keep them centered as you tighten it. Make sure the wires are even, and mine are not. So you're gonna pull this little loop and then pull on the wire that is shorter. And that's not super great, but just keep doing that. Yep, there we go. That's pretty good. That's good enough. So now pull tight, and you don't want it to make a little circle, so you can just crease it just like that. Now we're going to do a row of 5. So 1, 2, let's get this out of the way, 3, 4, and 5. Bring those down. Take the side of your wire that does not have beads on it and string it through all of those beads. And pull tight. Then kind of flatten it like that. There we go. And now we're going to take 6 beads, put them on our wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bring it down, do the same process. And pull tight. We're going to do another row of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bring them down. Do the same process. Pull tight. There we go. Now we're going to do a row of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to try and keep everything on this side flat, or at least on one side. Just all of them flush on one side. There. Now we're going to do a row of 4. 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to do a row of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do a row of 2. 1, 2. And finally, we're going to do a row of 1. And pull tight. And now we're going to do the same thing as to tie it off. We're going to do the same thing to tie it off. Loop it around, pull tight, loop it around again, pull tight, and then twist. And snip out the excess. And fold down the little pointy bit. Now there's one wing and the other wing is the exact same process. So I'm going to stop the video here and do this other wing off camera, and then I'll be back so we can attach them. All right, I have the 2 wings done, and now we are going to attach them. So take your one remaining piece of wire. It should be an 8-inch or 21 centimeter piece of wire. And you're going to loosely fold it in half like this, and we're going to attach the wings on now. So you're going to take your body of your eagle, I'm going to zoom in, and you're going to count. Now this brown row right here, we're going to string our wire through that. So wiggle it around, string it through. Like that. Pull tight. And meet your wires together and make sure the body of it is in the middle. Now this is the same process that we did for the swan, as I said earlier. We're going to take our wire, and if you see there's little loops that are formed by the wire going into the beads. We're going to count 2 of those, so 1, 2, and we're going to string our wire through that small loop. So see this and string it through like that and pull tight. There we go. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So 1, 2, pull tight. There we go. Now we're ready to place our wings on. So let's have the flat side face down and be lined up with the flat bottom of the eagle. So we're going to string this through the first 4 beads that we put on the wire. There we go. Pull it down, just like that. Now we're going to do the same thing to the others. So flip your eagle around, take the flat side facing down, and string the wire through the 4 beads. Just like that. Now I'm going to get this one out of the way. It might come off, but that's okay. Now we're going to take the row right below right below the beginning of our wing. So this row right here, and we're going to stick our wire through all those beads and out the side. We're going to pull it tight, and there we go. Now our wing, one of our wings, is attached. Now we will do the same thing to this wing. So fold it down, and the row directly below it, right there. String our wire through. Just like that. Oh, that didn't get quite in. There we go. And now pull tight. Just like that. Now both wings are attached. And now we can flip our eagle around. We're almost done. And take our 2 wires and twist them together. Now we can trim off the extra. We can push it down, and there you have your completed eagle. And you can just bend it however you want. I'm just gonna fix mine up a little bit. Curve the wings a little bit. Oh, and if you want to add a little curve to the beak, then just bend it down like that. There we go. So I hope you all liked this tutorial. And it was pretty easy to follow. It was a more complicated design, just like last month's actually. But if you have any ideas for next month on what I should do, make sure to leave your ideas below in the comments, and I will see you all next month. Make sure to subscribe if you like this content and want more of it. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Also, happy late 4th of July. Not have any beads on it.